Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm walking around a golf course here in San Diego, California. I'm responding to the Mc Eiht snitching allegations, accusations in regards to Nate Hill. And I've seen some videos from Jojo Capone, and he seems very amped up in regards to that alleged snitching allegations. But there's just too much energy behind proving he's a snitch, and you got paperwork to prove what? Paperwork to prove what? What's it really about? Because if you know, Mc Eiht was active in the 80s as far as that street gang stuff goes. But of course, he changed his life into a rapper, and he became a good rapper back in those days. Very relevant. Then you try to transition it into movies and things of that nature. Try to, of course, the art of the music he loved, and he has some roles in acting. But now that he's about to be a part of a podcast, here comes the snitch allegations. Why can't we lift each other up and not tear each other down? And in regards to Nate Hill, he was actually a lead actor in the movie that Nate Hill wrote. And Nate Hill also paid him for that. So he wasn't part of the Nate Hill drug ring. He was part of the Nate Hill movie, along with Lisa Ray and Bernie Mac, which the FBI seized.
Right.
So here it is. He's trying to make a movie. He paid $100,000, and that movie was seized by the FBI. That movie was called Reasons. So go ahead and look it up. But also, I think it's the Chicago Times or the Chicago Tribune actually followed the story on Nate Hill and his arrest, because he was a part of the FBI Most Wanted. I think he was like number 15 back in the, in that era in the 90s. So he was on the FBI Most Wanted list, and Nate Hill had fled over to parts of Africa. He was living in a part of Africa. I think it was Guinea of Africa, and he changed his name. I believe to Malik Ra or something like that, or Malik Ba or something like that. But as Nate Hill was successful with the drug world, I don't want to get into too much of that, but he went to Africa and became very successful as a wholesaler of like cocoa and coffee. And he was a businessman in Africa. And the country that he was extradited from in Africa didn't have an extradition treaty, but here it is. It's pretty much like a third world country in Africa that the FBI were able to get them to cooperate and bring Nate Hill back to the United States to face those charges. And according to the story, he was in there in Africa, that part of Africa, for about 25 months. I think they had a sighting of him once in Chicago, but for whatever reason, he also lives in the Bahamas and, abroad, getting away from the FBI. But as far as Mc Eiht being a snitch, I think they were trying to. So he was paid $100,000 from Nate Hill for doing the movie. He wasn't part of any drug ring or anything like that. So as far as, I think what he didn't take the stand, but he was asked questions in regards to the money that he received. And of course, when you're portraying someone in a movie, you don't know if these things are still valid or whatever the case may be. You're just being offered a part and $100,000 being given to you. You're gonna do that because you're not doing anything illegal. It's $100,000 to act the part in a movie. And as far as someone saying, "Hey, I got paperwork on him," you know, you gotta leave MC Eiht alone, bro. He's you know, not one of those. He's been an underground rapper for some years. Really never had a touch of real pop star success. I mean, or rap star success. He had some success. Had a soundtrack on Minister Society and things like that. Early '80s, he was, or late '80s, he was doing some good things. But as far as where he's at now, he's part of a podcast, and that's why his name has now come to the forefront. You know, once the limelight is shining on someone of that caliber, and all of a sudden is, why does he get a shot? Well, he get a shot because on the podcast, it has something to deal with street politics, things that happen on the streets of past people. You know, the content is to talk about things that can maybe better the world and show people, you know, what took a person in the wrong direction into the right direction. And so you have a few different gentlemen who are part of that podcast, and one of them is a gentleman from Suge Knight's camp, who was in the streets as well, but on the other side of the tracks. You know, these people are both from Compton, but they can give you different perspectives, but also to prevent history from repeating itself, you can have a discussion of who did this or why they did that, and how to not go back and follow those footsteps. But as far as Jojo Capone saying MC Eiht is a snitch, well, what did he snitch on? Because Nathaniel Hill was already certified in the streets way before MC Eiht doing the movie. So nothing that MC Eiht could have said that put him in that prison. It was already something that was etched in stone. He was being investigated. That's why he fled to Africa. But also, you're putting Nate Hill's son in danger as well. Hopefully nothing happens to Nate Hill's son. But when you put him on YouTube and all these things, saying, "Hey, you know, say that, you know, this guy is part of your dad getting locked up," that's not true. Nate Hill already had a name for himself before that movie. That's why the movie came about, because Nate Hill wanted to tell his story. So it's not a point at Jojo Capone as far as, you know, I understand that people are trying to make an income with YouTube videos, and you know, the more views you have, the more subscribers you have as well, it adds to your possible YouTube income. But if that's what it's for, okay, I understand that. But you gotta understand, when you knock food off a one person's plate, karma is right behind that as well. Karma is gonna get you all the time. You put out good karma, it's possibly good karma is coming back to you. You put out that negative energy, it's in the atmosphere. It's coming back to you tenfold. So I just think that when we're looking at putting people's information out there, it's always good to do your due diligence, find out the facts. We don't find out the facts because we have a person who's speaking loud and being convincing, thinking this is what it is. You know, there's other ways to earn an income. There's other ways to earn an income. In fact, I do have an income opportunity for all those who are in need of an income, but that's not what this post is about. I'll put a description in my link below in regards to that information. But I prefer to build our community up versus tearing our community down. So hopefully you're able to do your own due diligence. When someone say, hey, there's paperwork, this person's a snitch. Okay, even if there were a snitch, do you buy their product in the first place? Do you listen to their music in the first place? Have you ever had any thought process of that person? You know? And then, are you in part of that street life? You know, that's where people go wrong at. Take the examples of Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Ice-T. They're once prominent gangster rappers who are now, all of them had acting roles. All of them had a good tour and success in the music industry. But look at them now. They're not harping about their being in the streets and all these things. They know what goes on in our community. They also know that the street life is short-lived. But also, for those people who are rapping, hip-hop, all these things, you must know that the words keeping it real and, you know, this and that, the only way you're gonna have success is by having an open mind. And you gotta understand that the streets are the streets. That's one thing. But music is music. So no matter who listens to your music, if it's good content, people are gonna buy it. People are gonna stream it. And that's how you become successful. Other opportunities come out available for those people. Those people are looking for other opportunities as far as music go. You can only go so far in music. But then you get those roles where now you're the spokesperson. Look at Snoop Dogg, doing Tostitos commercials and things like that. Having other success outside of music. You know, look at Snoop Dogg. He turned a corner on those people who were street certified and all these other things. He said, listen, my music is more important. I'm global. You know, look at the rise and fall of Death Row. You know, the CEO is Suge Knight. He kept it to the streets. He kept it real. If that's what you want to call real. Or let's just put it where it's at. He kept it criminal. Keeping it real doesn't mean you got to be a criminal. Keeping it real means you can get an education. Provide opportunities for other people. Uplift us. Keeping it real doesn't mean cussing and drinking and fighting and putting other people in harm's way. That's not keeping it real. Keeping it real is being an adult. You got a lot of these adults who are acting like kids still. And ranting and raving about who did this and who did that. But you ain't got to look at yourself in the mirror and like, what did you do to better yourself? Now that you got someone's person who's trying to be successful and being a part of a podcast and really turn his life into something where that podcast can be a powerhouse and he can monetize that. So all I'm saying is, before you start believing anyone, do your due diligence. And then also, you know, was he that person that is being accused, which is Mc Eiht, has he ever even been on your radar as far as a musician that you go out and listen to and stream his music? I don't think so. I can be honest with you, only time I ever listened really to Mc Eiht music is, I think, Boys in the Hood soundtrack, to be honest with you. I heard some other songs as a kid because my older brother, you know, was into that lifestyle, and that's what I had to listen to. But, you know, everything is not for everybody. All right? So you guys have a blessed day.